Hello, everybody, and welcome to session 11 of the Nomadic Fanatics podcast. Tonight, we are joined by our infamous friend, Luke Capasso, Meeting America. How you doing, Luke?
Not bad. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah,
good.
It's
It's good to have you on the show.
Hey, thank you. It's good to be on the show.
So, Luke, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself? You know, I know you've been a comedian over in the UK. You've been here. Somehow you got into the RV world. Why don't you kind of give us a little idea how you got into all this?
All right. Well, first I'm taking in this screen. This is like a bad acid trip. There's so many things flying around my screen right now, little circles but all right, yeah, like you said, I lived in the UK for a while, and I don't know, I knew because my ex was over there, and with our kids, I knew she had to come back, so I was kind of thinking I wasn't really looking forward to moving back, but I was trying to think of a way I could do it and live kind of the way I wanted to, and so yeah, I started having this sort of idea because I got a couple friends in the UK that lived on canal boats, which is sort of somewhat similar to here. The UK's got a lot of different canals. The whole country's connected by these little canals that aren't really used anymore. And these people have taken all these old barges and boats and made little houses out of them, and they live on the canal. So it's sort of somewhat similar to what's going on over here with the RVs and vans and all that. But no, so yeah, I kind of had the idea, and I started looking it up. And I didn't have any idea this whole kind of subculture of stuff was going on with it. And there was so much information available on it. And yeah, so I kind of got excited about it and doing my homework over there. And then right when I got here, because in the UK, and especially I lived in London, so all the apartments and all that are real small. So I thought, yeah, I could easily slide what I got into an RV. So yeah, so as soon as I got here, I just went straight to it. Someone asked what kind of RV I have. I have a Pace Aero, 1988.
What drew you to the Pace Aero?
It was of the ones I looked at on Craigslist when I got back. It was actually originally I wanted a Class C with where it's got the kind of bed in the back and all that. I mean, I still wanted it to be somewhat like a house. I didn't want to be struggling, and I wanted to have some space because I got kids too sometimes. So, yeah, originally I was looking at the Class C. But also, I feel like, in a way, because I park in the city a lot, that a Class A looks a little bit like a bus, and it kind of blends in more than a Class C. Like a Class C looks like an RV. There's no question that what that is. Maybe I'm being silly about it, but I feel like
I don't know. I think a Class A kind of looks like an RV.
I mean, it looks like an RV, but it's still like if you're looking at it, you know what an RV is. But I feel like it blends more. It's got more of a blend.
Love of a blend. It reminds me of that movie, like You Blend. Yeah, I think what was the name of that movie? That lady.
My cousin Vinny.
My cousin Vinny. Like You Blend. You Blend.
Yeah, You Blend.
That's funny.
Yeah, and I knew I'd be on the road a lot. I don't know, especially because they're doing comedy and stuff. I knew. You don't make a ton of money doing this. You don't make a lot of money, and I don't want to spend my money on rent and whatever else. But I knew I was going to be on the road anyway. And even when I spent all my money in London on a flat, and I was never there. I'd work during the day. I'd go make films during the day. Then I'd do stand up at night. I was only slept in a bed. That's the only reason I had that whole place. You know.
Yeah.
Hold on. How's the RV life blended with stand up comedy life? Any troubles crossover? From one this is from John Spoonmore.
Spoonmore.
It's worked out really well, especially because I go on the road a lot, and I like to drink a lot, so I don't have to drink and drive. My house is already there. Like when I first got the RV, I should have taken it on around like a nice road trip first, but instead I just took it kind of straight to Chicago. Really, it's probably wasn't wise, but it worked out all right, and it was awesome because I went up there and parked right almost downtown, and had had a place in Chicago right by the L. So I got to all my shows. Had my bike on there. Rode my bike to a lot of shows. It's blended in really well. It's blended in exceptionally well. Actually, I got a lot of other comedians that now thinking about getting vans and doing that sort of thing.
Yeah, they get popular on YouTube, right?
Hold on, I'm trying to keep up with all these questions down here.
Don't worry about. I'll keep up with the questions for you.
Okay, all right.
You got.
Like I said,
John. Here's the next one. This is from John Wilson. He's like,
Johnny Wilson, I know this guy. Yeah.
Do you let you test drive your RVs before you buy them? Did you test drive yours, Luke?
No, I bought mine, I believe, from a methamphetamine addict. I'm not really sure. This guy came out. I'm not convinced yet that he hadn't stolen it or something, but some people you go, because I was all Craigslist and private owners, so some of them let you test drive it. But this guy made a big deal about how well it ran, and I'm not going to let you drive it until you give me a deposit. His name wasn't even on the title. The whole thing was weird, but it was the cheapest. I got a really good deal on it. I don't know if something. I'm just not going to try not to think about it too much because I think probably there's some shady things going on behind the purchase of this RV. Not on my part, but so this one I did not test drive. I started it in his driveway, and so it sounded like it ran all right. But I expected I had a little bit of float money that I knew if there was some problem, I could take care of some engine problems with the money. But some people will let you test drive it. Yeah.
It's funny because I think that's a good question that Jim asked, because a lot of people who get into this RV lifestyle, unfortunately they get so wrapped up in the emotion of everything going on that I think they forget about the fact that the vehicle probably should run. It should be something that if you want a mobile lifestyle, then there's some wheels should turn, engine should crank, radiators should work. I mean, simple stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then you learn how to spell chassis, because at some point you're going to understand that you have to understand what a chassis is. Are you there, Luke, or did I lose you?
I'm still here. Yeah, I'm here.
I know with my rig, when I bought my rig,
here? Are we getting points?
That's applause. That's props. Okay. People are liking you. Because
you're kicking my ass. Because you got like 862.
Well, listen, when you're as famous as I am, come on.
Oh, now it's going back up.
So Eric wants to know if I should film myself falling out of the paddy wagon. I suspect that I probably should, although I have fallen out of it a couple times. I haven't been drunk, though. But anyway, okay, on to the next question. So this is from Joseph Villalobos at Gypsy Gold 420. Luke, think you can get Sarah of No Matter Whatever some gigs? She will crack you up. Did you see her?
Yeah. If she wants some stage time, she's got some. She comes to the beautiful city of Dayton, Ohio. She's got a stage with her name on it.
Yeah. John says he wants to get Luke and Sarah into one blab. Man, you guys would rock this place. That's for sure.
All those little circles will be flying all over the place, or whatever happens in this blabby room.
So this next one's from the PC Doctor. When did you purchase your RV, Luke?
In August of this year. About mid-August, right when I moved back.
How do you like living in it?
How do I like living in it?
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. It suits me well. I think a lot of people have a hard time with it. If I go visit a friend or something, they're like, you can stay in the guest room. And I'm like, I don't need to. My house is out on the street there. And they're like, no, really, we can sleep on the couch or whatever. It's like I'm not roughing it. This is my house. I like it. I like sleeping in it. Like I said, the Class A, the bedroom and the bed. I got a house-sized queen queen-sized regular house mattress. It's a bed. It's got everything I need in it. Yeah, it's good. When I got the kids, they get small.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what don't you like about it?
It's massive. It's it's a huge vehicle, and it's all right sometimes, but I was really stupid when I first got it. I used to drive this thing around like a car, like I'm just cruising around town in my RV, which was dumb, and it was just sucking up a lot of gas and money on it. But you kind of learn ways that you can. Sometimes now, if I'm in the city, I'll park somewhere where I can hop on a bus, or I'll take my bike, or I have a little Chevette in one little part of town that I'll park and I'll cruise around. But yeah, when I'm around town, there's no reason for me to be driving it like I did. That was rather silly. Or when I go to a new place, it's sort of tough when you go. Like I went to Cleveland and for the little comedy festival up there, and that was cool. But then, like, if you want to go across town, I have to fire up the RV or try to figure out how to work Uber and all this other kind of stuff. So and all the other comics were staying at the hostel, and they were kind of hanging out there. Not that I really wanted to be sitting up there chatting with everybody, but
yeah,
I miss that little part of the story, all the hostel stuff. But however, I got to go sleep in my own bed, so that was nice.
So let's see. Jim Wilson says, Luke, although he called you Luck. I'm sure other people have called you Luck, huh? How is the winter treating you? Still thinking about a wood stove?
I'm thinking about a lot of stuff. I like the idea of the wood stove. And I got a big list of things I have to do. But I will say, honestly, the little buddy heater that I bought, it was only like $115 or something. I love that thing. That thing works great. That thing, I spent about maybe $14, $15 a week on propane, and it's almost gets too hot in here, really, with that thing. And I was thinking where to put the wood stove in here. I'd have to take some things out in order to do it. I've been debating a little bit on the vanity by the bed over there and taking that thing out. And I was watching another video. She's in a newer RV, and her mattress folded up so that whole room could be used as something else. And I thought if I was able to do that, if I get the mechanical stuff worked out, and in the bedroom, if I was able to maybe get the bed to lift up and so I could use that as a sitting room too during the day, have a nice wood stove back there, I think that'd be kind of nice. But I'm thinking about it, but I don't know yet.
Have you seen Just Incredible's Kimberly stove?
Yeah. That's nice. Yeah, especially because if you're only using like a couple logs a night, that's perfect. And I got plenty of storage underneath. Yeah, I put a lot of consideration into that.
I wonder how much I mean, your rig's quite a bit bigger than his, so I wonder how much heat that puts out, if it would heat your whole rig or if it would just heat part of it.
I had it's called a Batcave Stove in a house years ago. This is like about 8 years ago. I had a house in Maryland, and it had that thing kicks. If it gets going, with a little blower, especially get one with a little blower on it, I think that would definitely heat the hell out of this thing.
Well, I have a little heater right now. It's just a little electric heater, and that thing puts out quite a bit of heat. I don't
want to hear about it. Where are you at? What's the temperature today?
Well, I think it's probably about 50 right now, and where I'm at, but it's cold.
You could put your toaster on. You could push the button down on your toaster and warm it up down there. I want to hear about your heater.
Listen, when you live in Florida for a long time, your blood gets really thin, and then you get really old, and then you get really cold because your skin gets all wrinkly.
All right, lotion.
Moisturizing.
Keep it moist.
Lord have mercy. Lisa from Life and Serenity just texted me. She said, I can't believe you're drinking water on the podcast. She said, we can't be friends anymore. I got to go get a beer.
You talking to me or you?
She was talking to me. Are you drinking water?
Come on, let's do this right.
All right, let me go get a beer. I'll be right back.
But I need to get another one. I'll wait for you. I'm ready for a question. I can't. Sorry, guys. There's a lot of things flying around the screen. Okay, what am I drinking? This is for 180 Lifer. I'm drinking Yingling.
This is Russian beer.
Oh, Russian beer. I think I've ever
So
had
I
a
hope
Russian
Lisa
beer.
likes me again. Yeah, Russian beer. This stuff is, I'll probably be on the floor, or I'll be rolling out of the paddy wagon, Eric. Just with one of
I just
these.
thought they drank vodka and soup. That's all. They just lived off vodka and soups.
Yeah. All right, so John Spoonmore. Stupid question. John, there's no stupid question. The RV life so far is just a local home on wheels for ya. Any plans to just do walkabout around the U.S.?
What does that mean? Like, is that like an Australian walkabout, like where I go on like a vision quest? I don't know what you mean, like to travel without just walking around hobo style.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm not sure. No. Actually, my plan is more and more, and I take a lot of crap for it, but I try to make this RV and live in it like a house. A lot of people are like, it's wintertime, just wear more clothes. I'm like, no, I wanted this to be like my house. I don't want to be uncomfortable. I want to plug things in and it to work. So my quest has been pushing harder and harder to make this thing work like a full-time house all the time. And I know I could probably have spent some of the money I did to modify the 88 and got a nicer, newer one and not have to do that. But so no, I'm not going to be sleeping under the bridge and roughing it quite yet.
All right. Lady Ember, Luke, loved your video about the new shower head. Still working good?
I didn't put that must be someone else's video. I've not done a video about a new shower head or have
Well,
put
you
in a
were
new
half
shower
naked
head.
in the shower.
Oh, did she? If she's saying that she enjoyed seeing me naked, and if everything that she saw when I was naked worked good, everything works excellent. But it's not new. That's the same materials I've been born with. I gotta get another beer, but I still hear you.
All right. Well, maybe when you get back from getting your beer, you can tell us about the little lady that was in your video. I don't know what the politically correct word is to use, so I'm going to call her a little person.
Little
But she
person,
seemed
no,
quite delightful.
little person's the one. Yeah, that's Wendy Ferguson. She's a stand-up here in Dayton, and I met her on the circuit here. So she's very funny. She's really good. I'm gonna plug her podcast too again for her, but it's Irish. I was laughing. Yeah, but yeah, no, yes, I met her out here, and because she's been watching the RV videos, and
Is she going to get an RV?
I don't know. I told her she should just get like I could modify my Chevette for her, and she could stay in that. I make her
Do
a
things
double
work
decker.
when you plug it in there?
Yeah. What's that?
Does everything work when you plug it in the Chevette?
You just get a little inverter for the cigarette lighter, and she could just run off that.
Okay. All right, let's see. This is from Kathy Mango. Anyone get humidity issues from showers? All the time.
Yeah. That's a big.
Gotta
I get
open.
humidity issues. You get humidity issues from everything in here, just breathing, especially in the wintertime. Like, you got to keep the window kind of cracked. You wake up, like when you're Kathy, like I don't know if you've been 16 and like making out with someone in a car, and then you look up and there's moisture all over the windows from your breathing. That happens in here just from being in it by virtue of this. And if you look over, like you can look over at the window, and there's already moisture just from my breath in here. And when it's cold, it'll all freeze on the inside of the window, and it won't be frozen on the outside the window because it's just your exhaust. So if I'm plugged in somewhere, I'll run a dehumidifier, but if not, it's just something you got to deal with. Just something you scrape it off in the morning or towel it off.
Do you have a dehumidifier?
Yeah, well, it's a small one, but yeah, I can't run it unless I'm plugged in. The battery and inverter and all, I don't have the juice to do it.
All right, so Weed Tree says, why was it listed as meeting instead of meeting in your tagline, Meeting America? What?
Because I'm a jackass, that's why. I'm trying to be funny, but it's not everybody's sense of humor. That's why.
I think you're funny.
Thank you very much.
If you think Luke's funny, give him some applause or give him some props. We have about the same number of props. Look at all those props. Come on, Luke. People love you.
Who's this egg? This egg is trying to keep you tied. Are you the egg?
There's a lot of eggs in here.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought it was just one person. I was like,
here comes your RV. Hang on. What happened? I thought you were coming on air, John. John's too busy clicking around. All right, let's go to the next question. PC Doctor. So where are you currently located, if you don't mind me asking, Luke? If in a really cold environment, are you able to use the plumbing system in it or not, or no?
yes and no. Yes, up until about 4 days ago. It got really cold. Most time it ran really well. I'm in Ohio, if you're asking. Okay, there's a city called Dayton, Ohio. I float around there a lot, but I'm all over Dayton, or I'm all over Ohio and Indiana, Kentucky. Yeah, so usually everything worked fine until a little bit ago. What I think happened, I think the water pump sucked up a chunk of ice. I kept everything from freezing, but again, I think something blew through there. I took it apart and put it back together again. It worked for a little bit, for about half a day, and then it stopped again. So, but I think, well, from what it looks like, a water pump's only about $60, so that's my next project. So to answer your question, yes and no. Some RVs are designed for this. This is designed for about maybe 2.5, at best 3 seasons.
I think
He's
they
more
say that if
designed
you
to
have a
own.
4 seasons RV, then they have some undercarriage heating. You don't have
Yeah.
any of that, do you?
I tried to put some in a hillbilly way. I got a video on it. I put some light bulbs in there and some heat tape and all types of stuff. And for the most part, I kept it from freezing, but it's a big 30-gallon tank. So if a little chunk of ice got in there, and it's still sometimes, we had about 3 days where it went below zero for the whole time. And by about a day and a half, it still froze up. But then after a while, it came back up and was running just fine. But this last freeze, it did not survive it. So I think I need a new pump, and I'll be all right.
So you're pretty well stationary, aren't you? Or do you move around a lot?
I move around a lot, but not at a very far spread. During the week, I move. I'm in a different spot quite a bit, but like I said, the farthest I've been is Chicago. It's about 6-hour drive from here. Cleveland was about 5 hours. But I move around within this area. But yeah, if I wish I would be somewhere south, so then my water system would be working just fine. But that's next year, I think.
Well, you could you could be here in Florida at the beach and going to the cabana bars and hanging out at Key West. You could be doing all that, but you're up there in the cold.
Yeah.
That sucks for you.
That's it. I'm rugged. We're the real RVers here in the snow.
Yeah, right. That's an RVer test, right? I'm rugged.
Yeah.
All right, Alex Tucker, how is the roof repair at your parents' holding up? Love that video, by the way.
Thank you very much. I actually just patched the drywall on the other side of it today, so it's been holding up well. But in the summertime, we're ripping those chimneys out and putting real steel, covering the holes over with steel. The chimneys aren't getting used anymore, so they're just roof penetrations that don't need to be there. So, but it's holding tight. And it's been tested with some snow.
Yeah, I like that video, by the way. That video was pretty cool. You kept justifying yourself. Like, I know this isn't the right way, and I'm going to do it better in the spring. And it's like, dude, just fix the damn chimney.
I just know how I know people will be blowing up my comment section with that's not right. Some people don't even let the video even go 30 seconds in before they're like, you suck. But
It's funny.
Yeah.
All right, so Shelly, old fart, new start. Yo, girl, what up?
That's my lady.
I
That's
love
my woman.
her.
Yeah.
Well, listen, you're gonna have to share her with me. So
I think she's. I don't think she's a one woman or one man woman. She can't be tamed.
she's shareable. Let's put it that way.
I think she's sharing us. I think she would be calling the shots.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely, no doubt, man, no doubt. All right,
She's
Luke,
bagging on my
I
sweat.
see you wore your Mr. Rogers sweater. Props. How has the rig dynamic changed since inviting
Oh, Ziggy.
Ziggy?
She's asking about my dog, who's asleep. Well, I'll tell you what. He's not the same guy that he once was. Yo, Ziggy, wake up, man. Yeah, he's No, it's good. I like it. He's actually. It's forced me to getting a dog has forced me to be more disciplined with my life. To get up at a reasonable time because I know I got to take him out. I got to keep things tidy or he'll chew the shit out of him. It's nice sometimes. He'll crawl up in there in bed and put his little stupid face on me. You know what I mean? It's nice. However, he got his balls chopped and he's not the same dog he was. He used to hump all my guests. And I kind of like that, but now he's just kind of lays around. He's like a cat now, pretty much. But yeah, he's been a good addition.
So Lola says, "What happened to Old Fart New Start being on the show?" We get to plug her. No, we get to do a plug for her on the show. Old Fart New Start is going to be on the show on February 19th. And we can't wait. We can't wait. She's her popularity is growing on YouTube, so we're very excited about having her come on the show. So, yay. So don't worry, we haven't forgotten her. All right.
That'd be a good show.
All right, Weetree, Shazam. Thanks.
Shazam.
Let's see. Try Hocus Pocus. I think we may have been. Let's see here. Pat, can you film falling out of the RV so you can fall off the wagon? Yeah, I think you can do that, but you got to be on the wagon first. I suppose I am on the wagon, but nonetheless. Okay, John. I'm getting these Facebook messages as I'm doing this, and so it kind of takes my attention away, which I should just turn them off, but I can't. It's my friend, so yeah. Anyway, all right, John Spoonmore, missing anything from England or Europe? Ever consider RVing back over the pond?
The heroin there is way better. It's real dirty here. That was a joke. No, I do. I miss a lot over there. My comedy career over there started, it was just on the point where it's a weird game. For those who don't know much about comedy, it's not like you go on one stage and you're funny and then bloom, you gotta make a bunch of contacts and you get to know people and you work different things. And over there, I was about 6 years in of doing it, and it finally started moving up. And I like the lifestyle over there. And it was in London. It's just much different than here. You have even little small towns will have a pub in it. And if you're going to meet someone, where here, my friends are always like, just come over to the house. There, it's like meet at the pub, and then the whole town will be in the pub. It's just more of a sense of community, I think, that in this country we may have used to have that we've kind of lost with like our car culture and drive-throughs and all that kind of stuff. And I enjoyed that. And I did see a few RVs over there. They're smaller. They call them caravans. And knowing what I know now, I don't think maybe when I'm older, I think once the kids are grown and all that, it's something I would definitely really like to do. Either RV over there or do the canal boat thing over there. That's something I think I'd very much like to do. So,
is there a big difference in humor between the two, between here and there?
They say there is, but I don't think there is. They're big on their British sense of humor funny's funny in my opinion. And they kind of get our jokes too, just because there's so many of our movies are exported. But I mean, I mean, like I said, they're just like they're the same as us, where they have different cultures within their culture, and some portions of the culture of their like very clever sort of things, and some kind of like more out and out jokes. You know, I
Are
don't
they a
know.
little bit more prudish over in the UK, or are they a little bit more relaxed than we are, or?
It's the same as here. Like some crowds, you could say things and people go crazy for it, and sometimes the same joke, everybody in the room will gasp, and it'll. They would have what you'd call like posh English people that may or may not go for certain things, or what they call again working class English people that would go for certain kind of jokes. You never know, man. Sometimes you kill it with a routine, and the same routine you go the next day, and it just dies like a lead balloon, you know.
Ugh, I hate that. I hate it when that happens.
Yeah.
It's a quiet room, man. Nothing's worse, I think, than a quiet room for a comedian.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
You get used to
Do
it.
you ever get a
Yeah.
panic attack when you're up on stage and nobody's laughing, and you're like, "Holy shit, I gotta leave. I got to go."
When I first started, I used to. That used to be a thing, but now you just got to have faith in what you're doing. If you believe in what you're doing, you just stick with it. You know, sometimes you're not always going to kill it, but that's part of the thing. You go to a lot of shitty rooms after a while. You realize that that's just part of the game, you know. And you got to expect to die sometimes. If you're trying to write new material, and it's going to have a little bit of edge on it, there's a chance that you may deliver it wrong, and it's like you watch the trapeze artists. It's more exciting when they take the little net away, because there's that element that one of them could die, you know, and it's people like it's disgusting. People want to watch it with the net gone. And it's the same thing with comedy. They want you to try to push it harder and do this thing, but there's that risk that you'll fall flat ice. But that's what makes it fun, you know.
Well, you have posted a video once with some lady who threw a drink in your face.
I sort of hate that video, but that's when I first started stand up. But yeah.
Well, I think that stuff happens probably. Luke from Weed Tree. Luke, what do you see as a major difference between a house and the RV?
The cost is one. You still have, I mean, like the RV, I'm constantly tinkering on it. I'm constantly doing things on it. But I've always lived in old beat up houses, so I was doing the same thing. And it took a while. It wasn't until, even though I've been in it since August, it wasn't until the last couple of months that I would always feel settled and at home when I got in it, because you'd be parked in weird places and you'd kind of feel a little bit uneasy, like you're not at home. You're not in a settled place. And but yeah, so it's kind of weird, because sometimes you'll get late and you'll be somewhere and you're going to open your door and you're not 100% sure what you're going to see when you open it. Maybe there's 20 cars there, maybe there's not, maybe, you know what I mean? So just the flexibility of it, the requirement to be much more flexible is the difference, if that makes any sense.
That makes a lot of sense to me, because I think that's been the same experience that I've had. You know, I've been living in my RV, actually in my driveway, which, you know,
that's smart. That's really smart. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I just wish I was able to get out and go, but that's coming up soon. So, anyway, but I've been living in my driveway for the last 4 or 5 weeks. And you do have to be flexible. I think you got to be flexible with everything. Like, for example, I don't have any heat because I've ran out of propane, and everybody down here is out of propane because we've got 9 million people in Florida from the north in their RVs. So they're all sucking up the propane, which is fine, but I got to get some propane. That's why I have my little electric heater for when it's, 50 degrees. 48 to 50 degrees or whatever. Anyway, you do have to be flexible.
What I've done is I got a little 12-gallon portable tank, and I got 2 of them, so that way I can fill them up. And I always keep the one full, and I just fill the other one once a week. So if I'm ever somewhere and I get desperate and it's really cold, I know I've always have a full tank that'll get me through a night. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's the part I think about being flexible. You know, you got to learn those things. And, you know, I don't think you learn them until you actually are out doing it, you know, and that's the big deal for me. And I think go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, you got to make the mistake. You make a few mistakes, you break some things, and then you learn real quick. You're like, oh, don't do that, you know?
Right. Right. Well, you know, we got some people in the audience that are, you know, here from Canada, and, you know, they're saying that, you know, they're like, wow, you guys are a bunch of wimps down there. You have to have heat. Yeah, you gotta have heat.
Yeah. Kiss my ass, Canada. But if we get frostbite, we still got to pay for the doctor. You know what I mean?
That's right. All right, Joseph Villaboa. Yeah, see, I told you that Russian beer was going to start hitting me. You comedians can't call your trolls hecklers, and you guys know how to shut them down. Any advice how to deal with trolls on YouTube?
I don't know. They don't bother me. I don't know. It's just, I just say something. If somebody says, I get a lot of really mean comments sometimes, and I just write on there, subscribe for more videos, or thank you for your comment. Like, I'm not going to argue with them. It's dumb. I think it's because people write in, and their name will be something like Flip Hat 42, or they won't even be like a real name. Like, I don't care. It's not even a picture of them. That's not even, as far as I'm concerned, that's not even like, I'm not going to write to the electric company and sign the letter, cheese face 8645. Like, it's not, I don't take that seriously. Who cares? I don't care what they have to say. I don't need them to like me, you know? And it's almost funny, someone that, if I watch a video and I don't like it, I just press pause and then click on the next video. I don't take the time to be like, oh, you suck at life. You know what I mean? Like, why would you do that? You know? But yeah, so I just don't deal with it. A heckler in a show, you have to acknowledge it. But some moron who writes something on my video that usually half the time, you can read the comment and they clearly didn't even watch the whole video. So it's not even, right. I don't know. Yeah. So I just don't, is my answer to that.
How about thumbs down? Did thumbs down bother you?
No, that's good. You don't want to be, I don't know. I think it'd be worse if you were equal thumbs up and thumbs down. If it was 50-50, then you're too middle of the road, I guess. I don't know. But no, doesn't bother me at all. How about you? Does it upset you when you see a thumbs down on your video?
Well, you got to remember, I'm pretty new at this whole YouTube thing. For me, you know, when I first got my first thumbs down, I was like, holy shit, somebody didn't like the video. And then I was like, I wonder why. I wonder what I did wrong. I wonder what I said wrong or did wrong or something. And, you know, my son, you know, my son that was living with me at the time, Scott, he was in my videos in the beginning, and then he moved away. And, you know, that one time I gave him the camera, you know, you don't give your son the camera. That's just not good. And the second time I gave my camera was to my other son, Alex, who on my last video that I posted, you know, he did a video of himself drinking a Monster and saying it was better than cocaine. And then RV Lady said, is he going to try cocaine next? And I'm like, no, I hope not. But anyway, I got 3 thumbs down on that video, and I figured it was because of him. So yeah, I don't care anymore. It doesn't really bother me.
You can't think about it too much. You just do your thing and you put it out. People like it or don't like it. You don't want to. I mean, I don't know. If you're doing something that's honest and not everyone's gonna like it. And that's just how life is, you know. But I don't know. I don't get too upset by it. And there's something
I agree, absolutely.
And for a while, I had somebody. If I'd post a video and it was a 10-minute video, within a minute, I'd have a dislike first. I always have this automatic dislike. So there was some lunatic who was subscribed and would get a notification I posted a video just so they could come on and press dislike right away. So, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, Yarv said it doesn't really matter. Thumbs down, thumbs up. You still get credit on YouTube on it. So hey, that's fine with me.
It's interaction anyway.
Right. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right, Jim Wilson. Is it cheaper to run a generator and electric heat or Mr. Buddy propane furnace?
I don't really know because I self-run my generator because it's a piece of garbage. So I will tell you, I'm spending about 50 to 60 bucks a month on propane. And I don't spend anything on the generator because I don't use it. I wish I could use it, but I don't.
Well, how big's your RV?
34 foot.
So you got a good size RV.
How about you?
You know, for your furnace.
So are you running off your furnace now?
No, I don't have any propane, but I'm running off of I'm running off an electric heater, but I only have a 27-foot rig. So, you know, but I'm saying if I was to run the furnace a lot, I would probably be spending at least 50 to 60, maybe 70 bucks a month. Well,
all right. Yeah.
Probably a month in propane.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, I think, well, to answer that, I would say I wish I had a diesel in a way, because a diesel you could let idle all night. Your engine you could run, and it used less fuel idling.
Yeah.
But a generator probably uses about a half gallon of gasoline an hour, especially a new one. Like that might my next big investment would be like a nice quiet generator that I could run if that exists, a quiet generator. But
right. All right, so Kid Rawl says, "Do you like Matty B raps?"
Can they explain that more?
Yeah.
Is that
I don't know.
Is that a type of rap?
I guess so. All right, next one. John Spoonmore, Sir Luke, personality test. More of a Monty Python or George Carlin fan, or are you a good mix of the two?
I would say mix of the two. A lot of comedians would get angry with me, but George Carlin, like when he writes and when he speaks and the things he says, I like. But I always found him on stage to be kind of he was never the butt of his own joke. Like he was always very sort of arrogant. I came across to me as kind of like he's never made a mistake. You know what I mean? But so something about him performance wise, I've always liked listening to him and the things he said. Like he's extremely wise, and I like what he has to say, and I think especially in what he's done for the art form of comedy and how far he's pushed it, and the amount he's written, I really respect. But I always found his performance wise, I never really locked onto it like a Richard Pryor or something like that.
Right.
Like Richard Pryor would make himself put himself down, or not even put himself down, but more expose himself than George Carlin did, and that I like. But Monty Python, oh yeah, no, I'm big Monty Python too as well. Yeah, I would say mix of the two. I would go mix of the two. Just I'm going to go middle of the road.
Mix of the two. Heavy Kev, if you guys had a chance to get a smaller RV, would you guys do it?
What do you think? You said you got 24 foot? All right.
I have a 27 foot.
Go ahead.
For me, no. I mean, I originally, when I first started looking for an RV, I wanted a Class C because I just thought it was more manageable, and a Class A felt kind of terrifying to drive, especially my Class A because my brakes weren't the greatest. But if I had a choice to do it all over again, no, I wouldn't downsize at all. I actually like my Class A.
What year is yours? I was watching your. Yeah, that's beautiful, man. What year is yours?
Thanks. It's a 2003.
All right. It looks pretty new. Is it Four Seasons too, or what?
It is. It is. The original owner took really good care of it. It then fell into somebody's hands afterwards, and they didn't take very good care of it. So, then when you let these things sit for a couple of years, then you got to work out the gremlins. Who told me that? Somebody said that to me. But you really do. One of my subscribers.
Yeah, even if you walk into a regular house that no one's lived in for 4 years, it's amazing how much Yeah.
What about you?
Um, if I didn't have kids, I would have a smaller. I would have maybe a 24-footer. But really, I like it. I mean, I feel for the most part, especially I don't know how Florida is, but the Midwest, you got wide roads. If they can drive a bus down the street, I can drive my RV down it. I haven't had any problem. I haven't got stuck anywhere. I mean, fuel wise, it'd be nice to have better fuel mileage or miles per gallon in this thing, but I'm doing
Yeah.
all right with it. I mean, I like the amount of space it's got.
Lady at Sketch said that my last RV was a 27-footer. I ended up living in the front half almost exclusively. I'm looking for a 20-foot or under that now. You know, I live in the whole thing. I mean, you know, I guess I think when you downsize, you know, from a house to an RV, I think you get used to the smaller space. And maybe after I'm living in this RV for a year, I might decide to downsize. It's unlikely because I kind of like having stations. I like having the front area, I like having the middle area, and I like having the back area.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you think you would downsize?
It would be a while, especially with having kids and all that. If anything, I'm looking to make this to where I have more space in it. But it's nice because like my son could be playing Xbox on the couch over there. My daughter and maybe playing a board game at the table or whatever. Like it's not. I like having space. Like I said, I keep trying to make this RV into similar to a house.
Yeah. All right, Shelly Fisher, old fart, new start. Luke, what comics impacted your own work and why, please?
Yeah, like I said, Richard Pryor, I always really liked. Old Eddie Murphy. More recently, I'm a big fan of Doug Stanhope. He's one of my favorite comics. Bill Burr, and I will say with the recent comics like Stanhope and Bill Burr, they affect me. And like their writing style, they would make a ridiculous argument or some sort of silly statement, and then all these reasons to back it up, and that's where all their jokes would come from, is all their arguments for whatever that original kind of statement was. And that's kind of like when I write material, I try to get an argument with myself, and I try to argue both sides of an issue, and just make the argument kind of get more and more ridiculous or whatever. Kind of find silly and sillier ways to make that point. And I think, yeah, and I think I've got that from watching those guys.
Do you ever find yourself in a life situation where you think to yourself, "Wow, I got to write this down because this is just too good to be real"?
Yeah, that's why. Actually, especially as a comic, that's why comics can't function very well as normal human beings, because they're living at every moment. I remember one time I got stuck. We were going, me and my son, we were we were doing this canoe trip, and it started raining, and it was just a mess, and we're stuck out there. And the whole time while it was happening, I'm thinking in my head, "Oh, this will be a good bit. This is a bit." And then I'm yelling at myself like, "Why don't you live in the moment, asshole? Like, you're here right now. Don't write the bit. Live in it. Like, this is where you are right now." So, yeah. So a lot of times, yeah, definitely when I'm doing something, I try to fight that in my head and be in the moment when I'm in it. But sometimes I realize when I'm in what's going to be a bit, it's difficult.
All right. So Jim Wilson says, "What's your favorite YouTube channel?"
Oh, I don't know. That's tough. Yeah. Probably mine. No. Oh, I don't know, man. I watch tons of different stuff. So I'll have to get back. I'll get back to you on that one, Jim. Let me think on it. I think what I watch the most of.
Too.
I get sucked down different holes. I don't even think what. I'm not a very good YouTuber. Is the answer to that question? I'm a selfish lover. A lot of times I'll be watching videos and I really like them, and I should interact with them more, and I don't. And I actually, that's a room for improvement in my life right there. Because sometimes I'm just watching it like I'm passively watching TV and flipping through channels. And sometimes I need to acknowledge the hard work that some people are, what people are doing. So, but I don't know. Like I said, I definitely got in. Nomadic Fanatic was the first RV videos I started watching, and I watched quite a few of
Me
those.
too.
That's actually what got me a big start there. But yeah, I like a lot. I don't know. I like a lot of old history stuff and that kind of stuff, and so yeah, I watch a lot of different things.
So you don't just watch RV videos. I mean, you watch other videos too.
Oh, actually, I watch a lot more of other videos than I do RV videos for the most part.
Yeah.
No offense, guys. No offense. Not say I don't like you guys' videos, but yeah, I like a lot of old comedies and I watch a lot of history documentaries and stuff.
Shelly says, I like prison and death row vids. She's like, I don't know why. Because you're a comedian, that's why.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I like a lot of different. I like a lot of variety channels. On the theme because I'm still focused on getting on the road and doing mods and all that kind of stuff. But what I was fascinated about when I first started watching was that people actually did this. I'm like, I can't believe that people actually leave their sticks and bricks house, leave their jobs, and move into this teeny weeny little space and drive around the country. I'm like, this is fascinating. Yeah. This is something I've always wanted to do my whole life. So I need to watch more of this. So in the beginning, I was watching hours. In fact, it almost became, I think it almost became like an obsession. Like I'd get home from work and I'd be like, have to run and see what was going on with RV lady. And, did she get out? Did she break another arm? I mean, I had to find out what was going on with the RV. That day he moved out of his apartment, I was like, oh my God. I was like, I was watching a soap opera.
Yeah. Oh, anyway. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Yeah.
So and I think, but yeah, go ahead.
My son turned me on to one. It was this guy that would go to dumpsters and he lived in his old U-Haul truck, and he'd go to dumpsters and find different things in dumpsters and poured it out in his U-Haul truck and looked at it. And it wasn't watching it because I'm really curious about what this guy found in dumpsters. It was just watching this guy, like the mentality of this dude. Like you just get sucked into it, but yeah, like you already said, it's definitely a soap opera. It's better than a soap opera because it's real.
I think it is, and not only that, but you're like hanging on for the video creators that are really good. You're hanging on to the next time they post. You're like, okay, I remember watching Gypsy Free, who I love her channel, and if you just sit back for a moment and just look at her story, I was actually so excited when she started filming from the road. I'm like, you go, girl. You go, you got there. You're almost like rooting for everybody. Like, oh God, they actually did it. They're finally on the road. I don't know. That's just me.
No. All
right, next question. Go ahead.
Well, this is for you. I'll read the question to you.
Okay.
This question is from Life in Serenity, and it's for Patty. Patty, what is more stressful? Finding out last minute that you're hosting the podcast in front of, hold on, show more. In front of millions at the last minute, or hosting the podcast while someone is yanking your chain?
Actually, because of the Russian beer, at this moment, I'm probably okay with the people yanking my chain. It was probably when I found out at the last moment when Devin texted me and said, oh, just so you know, you're hosting tonight. And I'm like,
I think you're crushing it.
I was on with you. Remember?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm saying as a host. I've been on a lot of podcasts and a lot of interviews, and I think you're on point.
Well, thank you. I've learned from John, so it's good. But yeah, Devin kind of threw me under the bus, but that's okay. I love Devin, so Devin can throw me under the bus anytime.
She's helping you grow. That's all it is. She believed in you.
She did. That's because she's going to be hosting next week. Ha ha.
Don't tell her till the last minute. You ruined it already.
I know. I'll let John do it the last minute. Hey, by the way, Devin, you're hosting. She says, I already do. Oh, yeah, right. All right. So next question. Well, okay. How's security in your RV life? Any events that changed how you prepare for security?
Yeah, well, my hands are lethal weapons. People don't come into the no. Mainly the only thing I worry about sometimes if you're in a kind of janky place, you're in a little bad place. Most time, the only I was a little worried a couple times in Dayton. You just kind of park somewhere where you can be around like little park around semi trucks or whatever. If I got valuables, I try to do my best to hide them before I leave. My RV looks like it's held together by duct tape on the outside. It's not really the kind of thing someone's gonna want to break into. Yours, yours looks a little nicer than mine, so you might have more. I wouldn't park if I had a nice RV like yours. I wouldn't probably park that in some of the places, but whereas mine looks a little bit Breaking Bad, it doesn't really get. It's not really a big concern I have, but it's the same as if you had a place living in if you had an apartment in a shitty neighborhood or a bad neighborhood, But
yeah, that's the same thing with me. I mean, of course, I'm still in my driveway, so I mean, once I get out and about, I might feel a little bit more vulnerable than I feel right now. I mean, I guess if a strange car drives down the road, I'm like, are they looking at my RV?
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I don't really feel much security concerns, but Eric, do you have any security concerns? Are you still in the room? Maybe you can come on screen and share with us a little bit. No. Oh, he's left. Okay. All right.
The only time I really got scared, I had a homeless guy come knocking on the window one time, but he just wanted money. So.
Yeah.
It's a little scary.
All right, so I'm going to open up the audience. If you have a question for Luke, come on in. Just go ahead and the seat's open. Go ahead and call in. We'll have you chat with Luke for a moment. I know Devin wants to come in. Come on, Devin. Everybody's got to open up their computers and get their cameras on, and yeah. Eric has a bat and a cat. Yeah, that's the truth. A bat and a cat. I think I need to get a bat. That would be good. Either that or one of those BB guns. They got those BB guns that look like, it will wreck your life, pretty much. Yeah. So John, yeah. Oh. So John Spoonmore says, I bet you haven't missed the high cost of Europe living. Oh, yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, Alex Tucker, did you fix the mailing list issue on your website? No.
Okay, now Patrick, you have to tell them.
No.
Admit it. I get this.
What?
I get this message, Devin, I have to pee.
You got to come on air. I got to pee. Devin, this is Luke. Luke, this is Devin.
Hello, Luke. I am fantastic. Patrick, be gone with you.
Okay, I'll be right back.
All right. Nice. Somebody post up Luke's YouTube channel for me. I've been posting it all night, but just can somebody put it up there for me? And does anybody have any more questions? I know there was one up here that didn't get posted right. I was busy. Did you answer the one about Europe? I was trying to get logged in.
Which one? The cost of living? Yeah, we did the cost of living one.
Nice.
Was that the? Yeah.
You know, I watched your videos for a long time, and man, some funny stuff in there, dude. Some pretty funny stuff. Some of it was beyond me, but there's some pretty funny stuff in there.
I'll accept that. Yeah, it's not for everybody, and I'll take that.
It was good, though.
Yeah.
It was good.
Thank you.
Oh, here it is. This is the one I saw. Tell us about your comedy showcase, where, when, and how it runs.
Okay. Well, there's a few ways to answer that. We're planning a tour.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a tour. It's going to be starting the beginning of March up to South Bend. I don't really know how to say how it runs. Basically, I got tour dates on my website, lukecapasso.com. I'll do videos to keep it updated, but what is happening is I'm going to try this little 2-week tour in March and then hopefully do it. If I can do that, excuse me, if I can do that properly and get sponsors and all that, my plan is to do a nationwide tour later, maybe in the summertime based on how well that tour goes. So this is my test tour. So it's a test for both the RV, finance-wise and mental health-wise, if I can do it. Just do it in a small scale. So.
How long have you been out there right now?
Since August in the RV.
August. When did you know you wanted to be a comedian?
Actually, I used to be construction management for a long time, and but I was younger. I was in the Air Force, and right when I got out, so I was like 26, 27, and you'd have 40-something-year-old iron workers, and you have to go give a safety meeting, and they basically heckling you the whole time. So I kind of would do it, and all these guys used to always be like, "Yeah, this is a good meeting. You're really funny. Blah blah. You should do this and do that." And it kind of put the seed in my head to try to do it as take out the actual work part and just do the comedy part of it. And then when I was married at the time, moved to London, and I really didn't have much going on. I was stuck in this tiny flat with the kids trying to be real quiet, watching TV at night. Eventually, I just decided to try an open mic, and then it just sort of snowballed from there. And then flash forward now, 6 years, I'm still at it. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's been lucrative, or you wouldn't still be doing it. A little bit.
It's not. You make a little bit, yeah. But I mean, you're not doing it for the money. Just to say that you do it because you love it.
You're following your passion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. As many of the people watching this will know, because that's why they're RV people, because they're sacrificing. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's comfort for freedom. Is what it is.
Oh, I love John Spoonmore's next question.
All right.
My daughter could probably come up with it. Oh, what? You got rid of it? Where'd it go? I don't see it anymore. As a comedian and a parent, give us a good story where you freaked out one of your kids.
They're not easy to freak out anymore. For a long time, I felt really bad for Mom, because we'd sit at the table and my kids kind of have the same, even if it's not dirty stuff, like even just regular stupid sense of humor. It's trying to imagine like you don't have the same sense of humor as I do, and you're at a table with 3 lunatics trying to have dinner nonstop. So it's like I've always felt like we've always kind of had the same kind of weird sense of humor, and she did not. So I used to feel terrible for her to be surrounded by that all the time. So they're not easily embarrassed. They don't really. I don't know. I don't think I've ever really freaked them out. too much that I can think of.
No, you probably have. They probably just didn't admit it.
I'm sure I have. I just maybe let me think on it a bit. Yeah.
I love
Well,
it
I
when
think
you were up on the roof in that video you were doing, and I think it had to have been your dad that was outside saying, "Are you done yet? Did you finish it yet?" You'd be like, "I'm getting there."
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know that. Yeah, it's a hard one to answer. I got to think on it. Maybe something will come to me, but I'm trying to think of a time that I've properly freaked them out or embarrassed
Here's a
them too much.
question: what if your son came to you, or maybe your daughter, and said, "Yeah, I'm gonna do stand up at the local club tonight. Come on, see me." Yeah, when he gets old enough.
What are they? Are you talking about 18 or 19?
Yeah.
I would probably try to persuade them, but if they wanted to do that, I'd support them, whatever they wanted to do. But depends. I don't know. It doesn't matter if they're whatever age they are. They got to either make their own mistakes at the time or follow their heart. One of the two. Yeah, I don't know. At a certain age, I feel like you try to give them support for what they're doing, but be there for them if it doesn't work out. I don't know. I'd rather they didn't, if that's the question. But yeah.
Hey, let's have Tellus come on up here. Let me unlock this seat.
I'm gonna bounce down then. Woohoo!
It was nice to meet you.
I do absolutely. I went back. I looked at some of your videos. I was like, what is it? And I think it's just that the things that you're hilarious, and I think some of it is very guy humor, maybe.
That's all right. I'll take that. Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna touch the hands on you.
huh?
There you go. I'm touching the hands on the screen on you.
It's got
No, I think it's hilarious. And there were some things that John actually had to explain to me. He's like, Devin, that's a joke. I was like, oh, okay.
No,
I didn't.
That's why I think I get a lot of my thumbs down, because I do very dry and I don't make the. I don't change my.
But now I get it, and now I see it. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's pretty good. So,
Yeah.
but I do appreciate you. Thank you for coming on tonight. I'm saying goodbye.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Devin. Tellus, you want to come on up? Because in your comment you said comedy chose me, but it really pissed off my kids.
Yeah.
Let's see here while we're waiting. Let's see, Joseph Villalobos. You crack jokes on RV pneumatic living on stage? I guess do you? Yes, you crack.
Yeah, I do a lot of times. Depends on how long a show I got, because sometimes it's, even if I just say a lot of times where I live in an RV, that usually sometimes gets a laugh because they think I'm joking. Or a lot of times I'll make little jokes and put a tag in there at the end, be like I do a joke about my ex living in a house and I'm driving away in an RV. Like, it's not related to that, but it's a nice punchline. People think it's kind of a weird thing. Yeah, it's kind of hard to, if I got a long enough set to explain it. But yes, the short answer, yes, I do.
So Weedtree says, what changes would you do to your RV if money was no issue? I'd get a new one. I get one of those, what are they, the Provost? I was at the RV show in Tampa like 3 weeks ago, and they had this multi-billion dollar, cajillion dollar. It was like an Oprah Winfrey kind of, you would think that she was the one driving down the street with her, billions of dollars. It was huge. Anyway. Wow. Hey, you can be a politician. Politicians get those, don't they? Don't they get those RVs? Yeah. Me neither. My major platform would be I'm not even going to go into that on air anyway. Moving on. Let's see. Shelly says, does the tour include an open mic element? Just so you know, Luke, John Spoonmore said that Luke for president. He said, I vote for you. And Old Fart says you could read the telephone book and it would be hysterical. I love her. Did I say that enough tonight? She is. She is. She's just, she's just one of those warm and fuzzy people. Well, she's really not, actually. She's kind of not warm and fuzzy, but she is, but isn't. She's kind of funny, warm and fuzzy, but I'm not going to have any more Russian beer. Anyway, Life and Serenity, do you have enough warm clothes to tour in Canada? I think Life and Serenity says that they're in London. Yeah, well, you got long johns. Uh, that's all you need. There you go. I got fuzz. I got some fuzz. I'm growing a beard. It's red and gray, but oh well. That's right. My father said to me, my father, which is 71 years old, he's like, "Ah, you got some gray up in there." He said, you could dye that shit. I'm yeah, I guess. I'm like, well, I said, why would you dye your beard? I mean, some people probably do, but I mean, you'd have to dye it like every 2 days, wouldn't you? Like, all right, let's see. John Spoonamore, how has humor benefited you in a tight situation? Yeah, tell us. You got any good tight situation stories? Isn't that the case though with a lot of people who are funny? Is that they've had situations where humor has really gotten them out of some sticky situations, or humor's really gotten them into, or not gotten them out of situation. Well, yeah, gotten them out of situations, but it's helped them. It's helped them feel better about themselves. It's helped them feel better about their situation. Yeah. You know, I know for me growing up, you know, I grew up in a very large family. And so, you know, the only way we could get what we needed was to be, you know, funny. Because, you know, it's the only thing you could do. But I had Irish uncles that were, all of them were big drinkers. All of them were big guys, you know, big Irish guys, and they were funny as hell. I mean, there wasn't a night that would go by if my uncles were over visiting us that we weren't all rolling on the floor. It was just, you know, that's just how it is. I have a brother right now who is so funny. You know, every time I talk to him, it's just like I can't stop laughing because he's hysterical. But he also grew up in a really, you know, he grew up with, I mean, he grew up with me, but he really had a hard time at, you know, in school. And I think that's where a lot of his humor came from, was because it helped him survive. All right. All right. Next question. Laddie Ember, to both of you, knowing what you know now, what would you do differently buying and moving into an RV? Luke, I'll let you answer that. Yeah. I'm in the same thing. I think I'm the same way you are. I think you've gotta learn. You're gonna make mistakes. I don't think that I don't know. I just don't think that, you know, if you go into this thinking that, you know, what somebody said, you know, 80% of my rig works, you know, 100% of the time. And I don't remember where heard that from, but I really think that's true. And if you go into this with the idea that you're going to know everything and you're not going to make mistakes, I have to tell you, that's not the way it's going to be. At least it wasn't for me. You know, but right, right. And the other thing too is I think one of the things that I learned is that, you know, a dealer, all they want to do is sell you that rig. They don't care about your life. They don't care about your excitement. They don't care about any of the things. They'll tell you they'll tell you they live in an RV and they live in an RV park down the street from you. They don't live in no RV and they don't live down the street from you. They're living in a mansion because they're selling these, you know, $1 million RVs to these retired people. So when you walk in and they want to sell you an RV and you're a newbie, they're like, "Oh, yes. I can make my mortgage payment this month." So from that point of view, I always tell people, man, you really need to be prepared. But from in terms of living in it, um, no kidding. Right. That's excellent advice. I agree with you. I think you really need to have a cushion, and you know that I think that's why when I look at like the mobile hobos, you know, and I think about their courage, you know, They bought this older RV. They've done their best to fix it up. And and they were driving down the road with no windshield wipers, and everybody was saying, "Please get your windshield wipers fixed." And but it's courageous, I think, when you see young people like that who are trying to, step out, not do what society expects them to do, follow their own drum. And I love people like that. I think that's awesome. All right, let's see. Let's see. You vote for Vermin Supreme. He will give you a pony. Do you have any idea what that means? All right. Hey, ladies, isn't Luke a hottie? Luke's a hottie. Thanks, Devin. I appreciate the vote of confidence. That's where's my love? All right. Thank you, Lisa. You're a doll. Where do you want to be in 5 years with your career, Luke? That'd be cool. Yeah, I think you probably could, but it'd be really difficult. That's great. That's great. All right, folks. Do we have any more questions for Luke? We've been on air for about an hour and 40 minutes, and it's been it's been great. It's been a great time. Um, there you go. That's right. Just depends on the package. If the package is wrinkled up, yeah, it can be ironed. Okay, let's see. One more here. How much downsizing did you have to do? You do. That's true. Hang on, let's go ahead and bring in Torian Travels. While he's coming on board, Joseph wants to know what you think of Carlos Mencia.
I met him in person. I first came back. He's definitely in trouble. But, I saw
All right. Thank you. Torian, are you there? I guess you guys are getting a lot of feedback. All right. We're not hearing them. Torian wants to know, what's your favorite thing about RV life? Yeah. Yep. I got to tell you, Luke, that was the coolest thing this past week when I test drove the rig. I drove it 90 miles and I just parked in a parking lot and I hung out for the day and I work because I work remotely. So, and I'm just thinking to myself, holy crap, man, I am like, my whole house is right here. It's right here. I got my little hotspot. I got my internet connection. I'm good to go. And that's a reality check, when that happens to you. Kathy Mango says, I want to get to the place where I never have to go back. Just always forward, but I'm still static. Yeah. So let's see. Weetree says, do you boondock or live in a park? And for those of you who are just joining us, I know my name up there says John, but I'm actually Patrick with the Paddy Wagon, and I am hosting for John Yarv. And tonight's guest has been Luke Capasso, Meeting America. We've been very excited to have Luke on our Nomadic Fanatics podcast tonight. And so, Luke, marketing genius, what's the launch date for the printing website? And give us a little plug on that website, sir. Do you do license plates and bumper stickers and all that kind of stuff? Yeah, that's awesome. Now, so is the link for this on your YouTube page for that video that you did with the link? Okay. Okay, great. Hey, you know what? I'll tell you, RVers love that kind of stuff. You know, they love the t-shirts, they love the coffee mugs. You know, I'm gonna be ordering bumper stickers that says I heart the paddy wagon. And I really would love to get those flags like you were talking, the NFL flags that said that. That would be cool. Yeah. Great Christmas gifts. What? Say it again. Cool. When do you suppose it will go up? Okay. All right. Shelly Fisher says to both of you, will you be towing a vehicle? Luke, are you towing a vehicle? Yeah. Well, I'm not towing a vehicle. Actually, my son's going to be taking my car. And if I find that I need it, then I'm thinking that maybe Uber is probably going to be a good source for me while I'm on the road if I don't drive the RV to wherever I need to go. So at this point, but that's subject to change. I have a Chevy Cruze which I originally bought because I thought it was flat towable, but it's not. And I don't want to burn up my transmission, so I have to get a dolly and all that. And I just don't want to mess with all that stuff. So, all right, Alex Tucker, remind the ladies you make a lot of soup. Oh. All right, Alex, duly noted, man. John Spoonmore, what is your Zen destination in the RV life? Oh, wow. Yeah. I think I'm with you on that. I'd like to go west. I've only been on the East Coast predominantly. So I'm headed out to Louisiana to see mom, and I'll be up with her for a couple months, and then and I may not even stay there for a couple months, but then I'm headed maybe to North Carolina for the summer, Colorado for the summer. I'm not really sure yet, but then I'm headed out west with two other RVers. We're gonna go to Quartzsite, and I want to go to Burning Man. Dude, Burning Man. I know, right? So that's what I want to do. All right. Well, listen, we're coming up on 11 o'clock Eastern time. So what is that? I don't know. I'm time zone challenged, so don't even ask me. What is that Canadian time? Ha ha ha. Anyway, we've had a great guest tonight. This has been Luke Capasso, Meeting America. You can see Luke on his YouTube channel. You can also see Luke on his website, and those have been posted in the chat. And so, Luke, I want to thank you for being with us tonight. I hope you enjoyed the podcast as much as we enjoyed having you.